Okay, and welcome to the sporadic Sleepy Dragon Soup Kitchen. Considering where we are in life at the moment, we've decided to do a little video about potato and leek soup. This is a bowl of stock that Andrew so very well did yesterday. We got some whole chickens, we roasted them, we deboned them, we used the bones in different vegetables like leeks, onions, bay leaves, peppercorns, carrots, all in with water and boiled it up nicely for different things like that. So basically, that's going to be our stock for this soup. Now you can do vegetable stock by itself, you don't have to use chicken. Onions, leeks, carrots, bit controversial for some people, Andrew, but otherwise fine. Potatoes. And that's your lot really. The rest of it is up to you. You can put garlic, you can put ginger, you can put different herbs and spices. I'm going to be using some mixed herbs, I'm going to be using some black pepper and a teeny bit of salt. And I might, because I'm going to taste it as I go, which I advise you all to do, is put in a little bit of Dijon mustard because it always gives a little bit of piquancy to the mix. So we'll show you how it's done, but we've diced the carrot, we've diced the onion. I'm about to slice the leeks. I'm going to sweat it down in some oil and butter with a little bit of seasoning, and then I'll show you what happens after that. So here we are, we've got the onions in here, we've got some sunflower oil, but you can use rapeseed oil or olive oil if you want to, and add a little bit of butter to help with the onions. I also put a little bit of sugar in with the onions to help them caramelise a little bit more, because I like a caramelised onion in my soup. Actually, I like it with everything. This is particularly important if you're doing things like tomato soup, because the sugar counteracts the acid of the tomato, so always remember that. Not a lot, just a sprinkle. Okay, as you can see, this is the leeks going into the carrot and onion that's already been sweated down. So, you can always catch the escapees later. Now the interesting thing about this is, I'm going to give you a little tip. These parts of the leek, the outer leaves, these are thin enough to be blanched and used instead of lasagna sheets. If you are needing gluten-free or you're on a strict diet and you don't need any pasta, you can actually use these instead of pasta on your lasagna. So you've just got your meat or your meat substitute and your leek leaves, and a lot of people can't tell the difference. So I've also got a little sprig of thyme in here, because that's straight from my garden, and I'm like that. When I cook, I tend to think, oh, I fancy putting a little bit of this in there, or a little bit of that. Don't be frightened of it, because if you don't like it, you won't do it again. So here we are. We've got the potatoes in. I've taken the thyme sprigs out, and the potatoes I'm using are Albert roaster things, the red ones. However, it's basically because they're a more sturdy potato. They're kind of waxy in a way. So Charlottes or russets or golden wonders will actually do great. Now the trick is that the smaller you cut them, the quicker they'll cook through and the mushier they will get. So if you don't want a totally mushy thing, then eighths, cut them into eighths and put them in now and boil now for simmer. Bring it to the boil and simmer for 20 minutes. Add any extra little things like your herbs de Provence or anything like that. If you've got a Garni bouquet, you could put it in there too. You can, at this point also, you can add cream or milk if you want to do that, because you can do this all scrunched up, liquidized up, and it makes a nice smooth kind of vichyssoise situation going on. Or you can leave it chunky like this and have a good hearty bowl of potato and leek soup ready to rock and roll. But also when you do that, you can also have the choice of squishing it up later and putting cream in it later too, because we're going to freeze this. You know we are. So here we are. It's been simmering, semi-parboiling for 20 to 25 minutes. The potato, check a thick one. You can put a knife through quite easily, and that's okay. So you can keep it like this, allow it to cool, keep it like this. Before you put it away to freeze it or anything like that, and before it gets too cool, check the flavour. Have a little spoon in there and check the flavour. See if there's anything you want to add. And if you do want to add something that other people might not like, split it. Make it into 2 parts so that you can add what you want to add and the other person doesn't have to have that. And then when we finish with this, Andrew's decided that he would want to liquidise it now. I think it looks great actually. But he wants to liquidise it now, so we'll do that. And then we'll put it into long ashets and we'll mark it, date it and freeze it. And I think we'll get about 4 out of that, don't you?
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
So that turns out that we've got 4, actually 8 portions of soup, because one ashet is like 2 portions of soup. 2
portions.
And so we've got that. So we've got 4 ashets on average at about £1.50 a shot.
Less than that.
Less than £1.50 a shot.
Probably 120 tops.
And it's got all your ingredients in there
so
for a good healthy.
Yep, so that's 60p a portion.
Yeah.
And so, it's all fresh.
And it's all fresh, made from scratch, and it didn't take more than an hour.
One of the keys to it is the stock. I have to say it's really important to learn how to make stock from your chicken carcass.
Or your vegetables. If
Exactly.
you're a vegetarian, vegetable stock is great. I mean, if you're going to make vegetable stock and you're going to use the vegetables and strain the fluid off, then just take the stuff you don't want out of it and use everything else. Reuse stuff now. Because it saves money and it looks good. And the next thing we're going to be doing is actually looking at a gammon joint. And we're going to be making chicken and ham pie. So here we are. We're liquidising it now, and as you can see, it didn't need cream, it didn't need milk. The potatoes make it nice and silky by themselves. And so we're just going to make sure that it's really silky, and then we're going to pop it into some ashets and put it in the freezer. And we will have some lovely soup. So have a go, see how you get on, and let us know. Okay, so here we have the finished ashets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. So that's 10 portions, so 10 single bowls, and 1 more single bowl. So 11 single bowls of soup out of what we made today. So think about that, you know, and you can share these, you can swap ideas, you can have a soup gang going on. You could do anything you wanted to, basically, because the vegetables are there. And you can actually start to grow your own too, if you really wanted to. But it's always a good idea, because growing them is much cheaper. Needs a little bit of time and patience, but it's much cheaper.